All right, so this is going to be our video kind of overviewing running GoGuardian and what that might be like. So um, once you've logged into GoGuardian, you can see your different classes here in your active class sessions as long as you've accepted them from the pending file here if you needed to do that. You can see they're sorted, right, and whatnot. You can see the different classes I have: English 1, English 3, History 5, and then my 6th period class all laid out here. Now, if you just want to get started and see what GoGuardian looks like when you're actively running it, I could just go ahead and click on one of my classes here. And you can see the things it sets up here. So it'll show me sessions. And if you've never run a session, you won't have any. This will be completely blank for you or empty. But I run sessions every class for every day of the week, and so I can see the full list of all my different classes there. So we can get to that at a later point here, but we can see that you got your sessions listed here, and I can see some other menus have dropped down here. I have my list of students, the teachers, and settings for my class in general. Now, if I just want to run to see what's going on, I could hit start new session. Now, it has some default set in. For one, it's going to ask me when the class will be over, and it seems to default to 45 minutes. You can obviously change that and create a custom end time. So you'll probably want to do that. And if you find you really like using GoGuardian and want it regularly running in the background in your class, you can actually plan these and schedule these out to be your class times for every day of the week. So we'll see what it's got going on here. I'll adjust this. Let's say I just want to run it for the shortest time. We could say 30 minutes. We could even see if it's 108 right now. What if I just want to run it until 115? So we could do that. So I could type that in there, and I've got it now custom to 115. The next thing is going to ask me about what scene I want to apply to this session. Now, we'll cover scenes in a later video, so I'm going to just go ahead and click none. I don't want any scene on here yet because I haven't learned what that is, and I just want to see what does GoGuardian look like when I run a session. So I'll go ahead and hit start session, and it says I'm connecting, and you can see all of my different students are popping up, and it's starting to connect to them. So I can see one student has an assignment open up on their device. Now, these students are not ones that I have with me actively right now, and so they're all in different classes, so they're not doing the same thing I would want to be doing. I can see some of them are going on different websites, researching different questions, and some of them are not connecting because that means they're not on a device right now in whatever class they're in. So you can see the different things coming up here. So now another thing I can do when you see here is I can click this timeline button, and timeline will let me actually see it'll show me from the time I start the session what they're on or spending their time on. And this is really great in live, and it's also really great if you want to go back and look at old sessions you've run to see, hey, how did your students mostly spend their time? Screenshots comes up. This is something where we can capture screenshots of what the students are doing during a session. I can come back to this later. And then last one here is present to class. This is sort of a different feature, not so for you using GoGuardian in a more unique way. If we want to show the students things, we're not going to get into this so much for our session right now. Okay. But the main move right now is just seeing what you got. Now, once you're in here, we can sort the students in different ways. We could turn on a chat feature if we wanted to chat with the students directly. We could turn on these off-task alerts. This is something newer GoGuardian's implemented in the last few years. And if we decide we want to apply a scene, which we'll get into that later, you can still do that from here. Okay, and that is kind of our first look at starting running your first session with GoGuardian.